The sun's just come out, so this is gonna be a, oh, okay. So I've just lost signal to the drone. It's not even that far away from me, but the problem now is it's over water and I don't think I can get any closer to it. So, some of these tips could literally save your drone. Here are the 12 biggest drone mistakes new pilots make with the DJI Neo. Let's jump right in. Starting out with the DJI Neo can be exciting, but as a beginner, you might make mistakes that can put your drone at risk. From unknowingly pushing the drone's limits to overlooking essential settings, these pitfalls can lead to serious damage or even losing your drone altogether. In this video, I'll share the crucial tips every new pilot needs to avoid these costly mistakes and keep your drone safe in the skies. And let's start with a few mistakes you want to avoid when you're taking off or landing your Neo. Now, if you're palm launching the drone, you want to be very careful to make sure that your palm is completely flat. And this is to avoid your fingers accidentally going up into the propeller duct areas. It's very easy to do if you're not paying attention, and if your finger is sticking up into where the propellers are when you start the Neo, it is going to hurt a little bit. So be very careful to avoid that happening. Also, if you're taking the Neo off from the ground manually, be very careful there isn't grass sticking up through the props, as again, once they start spinning, this could damage them. Next, if you're palm landing the Neo, which is where you put your palm underneath it and after a few seconds it will automatically land on your hand, you again want to be very careful. And that's because I've noticed sometimes the Neo can actually land towards the tips of your fingers. And because it's so light, it can actually just bounce off them, but because the motors have stopped, it will then just fall to the ground. Now, we obviously don't want that to happen, so when palm landing the Neo, just make sure you're keeping your hand centered underneath it so it lands in the palm and not towards your fingers. The next thing that's very important to be aware of is if you're flying the Neo with your smartphone, there is no return to home functionality. Now, when you're flying the Neo with the smartphone, it uses a Wi-Fi only transmission signal, and this is quite weak. So it is easy to lose signal to the drone if you fly it more than a short distance away, or if the Neo passes behind an obstacle. So just be aware that if you do lose signal to the drone, it's not going to automatically fly back to you. In fact, it will simply just hover in place. And then the only way to regain that connection is to physically walk closer to it. And that leads me on to my next mistake, and that is do not fly over water. Think about it. Let's say you're flying the Neo with your smartphone and you fly it out over some water, but then you lose connection to the drone. How are you going to be able to get physically closer to it to regain that connection? You can't unless you have a boat. So the drone is simply going to hover above the water until the battery gets low, and then it's going to lower and land in the water, which would be a disaster. The sun's just come out, so this is going to be a, okay. So I've just lost signal to the drone. It's not even that far away from me, but the problem now is it's over water and I don't think I can get any closer to it. So, Luckily, in that instance, I was wearing wellies, and by wading out into the water a few meters and extending my arm out as far as I could to get closer to the drone, I managed to regain connection and bring it back. But you could see how this could lead to a situation where you lose the drone. Also, if you take a look at the DJI Neo instruction book, it specifically advises do not fly over water. And this is because the downward vision system may not work properly when flying over water, meaning that it won't be able to accurately gauge how far above the surface it is or remain stable in place. All in all, to keep the drone as safe as possible, it's best to avoid flying over water. Now, another mistake that you want to avoid was something I made a lot as a beginner. When it came to editing my drone footage together to upload online, I was so concerned with accidentally using a piece of music that was copyrighted and getting in trouble, or when I uploaded my videos online, having them immediately taken back down because I didn't have the right permissions for a track I used. And because of this, I would spend hours and sometimes days trawling through Google and random websites trying to find restriction-free music. And aside from that being a complete waste of time, the bigger problem was that because it took so long, I would just use any old track I could find as long as it was restriction-free. And this usually meant it was low quality, but it also didn't match the tone or mood of my drone footage, and it arguably made the overall edit worse. Thankfully, after doing this for longer than I care to admit, I discovered Epidemic Sound, who are today's video sponsor. But I was subscribed to their platform long before they got in touch. Now, aside from the fact they have over 50,000 high quality tracks, which are all restriction free and safe to use online, the biggest win for me is the fact that you can now paste a Spotify link into their search bar. I don't know about you, but when I watch a really good movie with an amazing soundtrack, for example, we recently watched Gladiator 2, which is amazing by the way, hearing that music, I get super inspired and I think, songs like this would go really well with my drone footage. Well, now you can find that song on Spotify and paste that track link into Epidemic Sound and they will return the closest matching music on their system. It's amazing. Now, if you would like to give Epidemic Sound a try, then you can get a free trial using the link in the description down below. And if you use the code TDC for the Drone Creative, you will also get a 50% discount on a yearly plan thanks to their Cyber Week offer. And again, I just want to say a big thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring today's video. Next, do not forget this drone has no obstacle avoidance, so it will not automatically stop itself from colliding with obstacles. So if you're using it autonomously, where it flies itself, be very careful if flying in areas with lots of obstacles and narrow environments. Also, if you're doing a smart shot with the Neo, which is where you select from one of 6 moves on the top of the Neo, and then by holding the mode button, the Neo will fly that move automatically, it's very important to visualize the path the drone is about to make and make sure there is no obstacles in the way. So for example, if it's doing a drone, make sure the area behind it is free so it doesn't fly back up into a tree, for example. Or if you're doing a rise up, make sure there's nothing above you, so don't attempt to rise up in a covered forest area, for example. This also goes for direction track, which is where you can have the drone fly in front of you or to the side of you. Again, you want to keep an eye on the drone so it doesn't hit an unsighted obstacle. Lastly, if you're flying it manually, don't try and fly through really narrow gaps without having plenty of experience. Now, one of the biggest mistakes you can make if the Neo is tracking you from behind is simply not keeping an eye on it. Let's say you're running or cycling down a path, but at some point the Neo loses track of you and stops in place. But because you're not paying attention to it, you don't realize and you continue on your way down that path. Well, at some stage later down the line, you're going to turn around and realize the Neo is no longer following you. But because you don't know when it stopped tracking you, you now don't know where it is. It could be very far back along the path that you have just came down. Luckily, if it does lose tracking of you, the Neo will just come to a stop and hover in place, and it will hover there until the battery gets critically low and then land. But if you've continued a large distance on your way from when it lost tracking of you, it will mean going all the way back to get it. Now, one of the biggest mistakes I personally keep making with the DJI Neo when flying it with the smartphone app is accidentally tapping on notifications that pop up on the top of the screen while I'm making other adjustments on the app. And if you do this, it will open up whatever app that notification was for full screen on your phone, taking you out of that DJI Fly app, meaning you can no longer control the drone. Plus, once you leave the DJI Fly app and reopen it again, you have to reconnect the drone each time. It doesn't just go straight back into the smartphone control section. And this repairing process takes time. And I've also had situations where the drone is in the air and the repairing process doesn't actually work, which is a complete pain. So you definitely don't want this to happen. And something I have started doing that I recommend you do is you turn on Do Not Disturb mode or silence the notifications so that they don't actually appear when you're flying the drone. The next big mistake you might make with the Neo is simply just filming in low light. You have to remember the DJI Neo only has a 1/2-inch image sensor with an aperture of f2.8, and this camera really needs good lighting for the best video quality. If you fly in low light or even at nighttime, the footage starts to get really noisy and becomes unusable. Now, another crucial mistake you might make with the DJI Neo is flying it on a windy day. This little drone really struggles with higher wind speeds. So if it is a windy day, you will find that the footage you get from this drone won't be smooth, as the drone moves around a lot in the air. You will also find if you're doing smart shots where the drone flies autonomously, it can struggle to keep you centered, as again it's fighting against the wind. The biggest threat, however, is the fact that the Neo can become hard to control when flying it in those higher wind speeds. So firstly, the Neo could actually be blown off course by the wind. But the bigger concern is if you fly the Neo away from yourself in a tailwind, which is where the wind is against the drone's back assisting it, the drone won't actually struggle at all, so you might fly it really far away. But then when you turn the Neo around to bring it back to you, it's now going to be going up against a headwind, which is where the wind is blowing against the Neo. And because the Neo is not very powerful, you could end up in a situation where you simply can't get the drone back to you at all. So you really want to avoid those situations, and I recommend not flying this drone if there's high wind speeds. Another reason why you want to avoid flying on windier days is because you might struggle to palm land a Neo. Firstly, because it's moving around so much above your palm, them downward sensors might not even be able to detect your palm and realise you want to land the drone. Secondly, if you do manage to start a landing sequence, again, because it's moving around so much, you might struggle to keep your palm underneath it. And again, this could result in it landing on the side of your hand and falling onto the ground. So if you do end up in that situation, something I recommend is that instead of trying to palm land the drone, you put one of your hands underneath it and one of your hands above it, and then clasp it by making a clapping motion, and then just flip it over to stop the motors. And I find this to be a much more reliable method when it's moving around a lot in the air. Or alternatively, you could just land it on the ground. Now, if you're flying with a controller such as the DJI RC-N3, that's the controller you attach your phone to, or the DJI RC2, that's the controller with the built-in screen, when you're attaching the joysticks, just be very careful. If you accidentally drop one of them into an area of tall grass, take it from experience, they might be gone forever, as they're so small they can be very hard to find. So here's a top tip to prevent that from happening. When you're attaching the joysticks, place the controller flat facing upwards, and this will make it less likely for you to drop them joysticks on the ground. Now, if you are flying with either of them two controllers and not your smartphone, then a really big mistake you might make is simply taking your drone off straight away and not waiting for a GPS log. You see, unlike flying with your smartphone, if you're flying with the controller where you attach your phone to it, or the controller with a screen built in, there is the return to home functionality. But this only works once you have acquired a GPS lock, and this may take a few moments or even a few minutes depending on your location from when you turn on the controller and the drone. Now, you might not be used to this if you've been using your smartphone for every flight so far, where you just pair it to the Neo and take it off immediately. But if using these other controllers, you must wait for that GPS lock if you want that return to home functionality. So how do you know when you have a GPS lock? Well, it's really simple. If you take a look at the GPS satellite icon on the top right of the controller screen, you will want to wait until this changes from red or yellow to white. And once this satellite icon is white, you will know that you have a GPS lock. And as a bonus tip, be very careful when removing or refitting the propeller guards. Now, you might need to do this if you're cleaning the inside of the propeller ducts. I don't know why, but I have found the DJI Neo to be a complete fly magnet. So after a while, the inside of these propeller ducts gets quite dirty and you'll need to clean them. Or if you do damage a propeller and need to replace it, you will need to remove the propeller guards to get access. But just be very careful, as they're quite tricky to remove and they're not very robust. So it would be very easy to bend them or breaking them, and the same goes for when you're refitting them. Just take your time and make sure they're refitted properly and don't use too much force. So hopefully now you know all the mistakes you should avoid as a beginner pilot to make sure that you don't damage or lose your drone, specifically your DJI Neo. Are there any mistakes that you think other pilots should know about? then please let them know and me know by posting it in the comments down below. Now before you go, if you liked this video and you learned something new, please let me know by giving me the thumbs up and clicking that like button down below. And if you love all things drones, but also action cameras, gimbals and more, and want to learn how to get better images and more cinematic videos with your gear, then please consider clicking that subscribe button down below. And when you're down there, be sure to check the notification bell so that you will be alerted when my new videos are released. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, if you want to learn even more about the DJI Neo, then I recommend you watch my complete beginner's guide that goes over what everything is and does, along with everything you need to know to get the most from this little drone. And you can do that by clicking up here or by clicking the link in the description down below.